Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell as well. Thank you so much. So Karan was brought back to the Luthra house illegally by Shruti and Samuel, and Mahesh was not happy about this, but Raki really doesn't want Karan to go back to surrender himself to the police, and the whole family even lied to the police that Karan was not in the house. That was our last update. Let's continue from there. Dr. Deepali informs Prithvi that Sherlyn's checkup is going on, and Dr. Deepali asks Prithvi to wait for some time, and Dr. Deepali goes upstairs. Prithvi enters the house, and Krithika was shocked seeing Prithvi in Deepali's house as Sherlyn's husband, and Prithvi was also shocked seeing Krithika. Krithika asked Prithvi if he is Sherlyn's husband, and Prithvi was shocked and confused on what to say to Krithika. Karan says to Raki that he wants freedom because just today he came out of the jail and Raki is still following him everywhere in the house. Raki tells Karan that Karan can take rest how much he wants, but Karan is not allowed to leave his room, and Raki asks Prita to stay with Karan to take care of him, and Prita should never leave Karan alone, and Raki also calls Shruti and asks her to come to Karan's room. Karan asks Raki that why is she calling Shruti now. Raki tells Karan that she has reason for that, and Shruti comes there. Raki asks Shruti to watch Karan 24/7 and she should not let Karan leave his room no matter what. Shruti then tells Raki that she will lock the door from outside and Karan can knock on the door 3 times if he wants something, and Shruti leaves the room and locks the door. Shruti then asks Raki to send Samir to her because she will stay at the door watching over Karan and she will get bored. Raki teases Shruti and she agrees to send Samir to Shruti, and Raki hugs Shruti and thanks her for bringing Karan back to the house, but Shruti says to Raki that she doesn't need to thank her. In Dr. Deepali's house, Dr. Deepali tells Sherlyn that she is Krithika's friend and Krithika is waiting downstairs, and Sherlyn was shocked. Deepali then informs Sherlyn that now Krithika would have met Sherlyn's husband. Karan says to Prita that he is not understanding what has happened to Raki because he cannot stay like this for the whole of his life. Prita tells Karan that it is Shruti's mistake as well, and Shruti gets overexcited in this kind of matters, and she knows that Karan wanted to surrender himself back to the police, and Karan teasingly tells Prita that Prita has become so smart. Prita tells Karan that she has always been smart, but Karan says that it was only after their marriage that Prita became smart. Prita tells Karan that because of him, she became so mad as well, and Karan confessed that he used to like Prita since the beginning, and that is why he did not want Prita's marriage to happen with Prithvi. Prita asks if Karan really wanted to marry her from the beginning, and Karan gets serious suddenly, and he talks about his punishment and he asks Prita to confess her feelings for him. Prita gets emotional hearing Karan, and Prita tells Karan that she has also liked him a lot. Karan laughs at Prita, saying that he knows that Prita was a psycho fan. Prita gets angry on Karan for making fun of her, and Karan tells Prita that he really wanted to know how Prita used to feel for him, and Prita used that opportunity to tell Karan that Sherlyn is Akshay's murderer. In Dr. Deepali's house, Krithika asks Prithvi that what is he doing at the doctor's house, and Prithvi quickly lied that he came to meet Krithika. Krithika was relieved, and Krithika tells Prithvi about Sherlyn also being at the doctor's house. Prithvi tells Krithika that he did not know that Sherlyn was also there, and Prithvi asks Krithika not to cry, saying that he came to the doctor's house to surprise Krithika. Dr. Deepali comes there and tells Krithika that Prithvi is not Sherlyn's husband, and Prithvi tells Krithika that Krithika did not trust him, and Prithvi acted like he is upset and he leaves the house, and Krithika follows him. Sherlyn comes downstairs and leaves the house as well, saying that Prithvi and Krithika had gone. At the Luthra house, Mahira tells Shruti that she wanted to meet Karan, but Shruti stops Mahira. Mahira pleaded with Samir to let her meet Karan once, but Shruti sees Pami and complains to Pami about Mahira, saying that Mahira wants to disturb Karan, and Pami tells Shruti that she would undo Mahira. Pami goes to Mahira and lied to Mahira that her father was calling her, and Mahira was afraid and she runs towards her room. Pami tells Shruti to be careful with Samir and that Shruti should stay away from Samir because Samir is now in love with Mahira, and Pami follows Mahira. Prithvi reaches the Luthra house and wonders where everyone is, and what if Krithika had told everything she saw at Dr. Deepali's house to the Luthras, and that would be a big problem for him because he doesn't have any answers for their questions. Later, Prithvi thinks that Krithika was feeling guilty seeing him upset, so Krithika would not have told anything to the Luthras. Krithika comes there and apologizes to Prithvi, but Prithvi acted angry and goes away from there. Sherlyn tells Krithika that Dr. Deepali informed her about she and Prithvi's fight, and Sherlyn asks Krithika that what happened. Krithika tells Sherlyn that she suspected Prithvi without knowing the truth, and Sherlyn tells Krithika that she will talk to Prithvi for her, but Krithika stops Sherlyn, saying that she will talk to Prithvi by herself, and Krithika leaves from there. Karan asks Pritha if she is sure that Sherlyn is Akshi's murderer, and Pritha tells Karan that all the evidence proves that Sherlyn is Akshi's murderer, and Pritha tells Karan that Akshi saved Sherlyn's number as Bakra number 3 on his phone, and Pritha also reveals how she confirmed that Sherlyn is the murderer, and Sherlyn tried to put the blame on Mahira. Karan knocks on the door and asks them to open the door. Samir opens the door and Pritha tells Shriti and Samir that she has told Karan about Sherlyn, and they all follows Karan. Sherlyn was shocked seeing Karan, and Sherlyn asks Karan that what is he doing in the house. Karan asks Sherlyn that why is she not happy seeing him, and Karan lies to Sherlyn, saying that the police released him because they get to know about the real murderer of Akshay, so they are coming to arrest Sherlyn soon. Sherlyn asks Karan that why would the police arrest her, and Pritha asks Sherlyn that why did Sherlyn left her slippers in front of Mahira's room. Shriti tells Sherlyn that she found one pair of her earring in Mega's house, and she found the other pair of that earring in Sherlyn's room. Sherlyn tells them that she is not understanding what they are saying, and Sherlyn reminds them that she is pregnant, and she asks them to think about her child at least. Pritha says that now Sherlyn cannot hide the truth, and Karan, Pritha, Samir and Shriti leaves from there. Karan says to Pritha that he wants to stay alone for some time, and Karan leaves from there. Prithvi was shocked seeing Karan, and Prithvi asks Karan that what is he doing in the house. Karan tells Prithvi that he won't waste his time on Prithvi, and Prithvi begins to taunt Karan, and Karan pushes Prithvi away. Krithika asks Karan seeing him, and Karan informs Krithika that the police did not release him yet, and Karan leaves from there saying that he is feeling suffocated. Krithika apologized to Prithvi on behalf of Karan, and Prithvi tells Krithika that he is ready to tolerate anything for Kritika's sake, but Krithika suspected him unnecessarily today. Krithika apologized to Prithvi again, and Prithvi accepted Kritika's apology and asked her to leave him alone for some time. Sherlyn remembered Karan's word and informs Prithvi about it, but Prithvi tells Sherlyn not to worry about Karan. Sherlyn says to Prithvi that she lied to Dr. Deepali when she realized that Krithika was Dr. Deepali's friend, and Prithvi tells Sherlyn that Karan staying out of jail is dangerous for Sherlyn, but today, Sherlyn saved him from Krithika, so now he would also save Sherlyn, and Prithvi calls the police inspector and informs him that he saw Karan in the Lutra house, and Prithvi disconnects the call, and Prithvi tells Sherlyn that Karan deserves to stay in the jail, so he will send Karan back to the jail, and this time, Karan will be charged for 2 crimes now, and Sherlyn smiles hearing Prithvi. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching till the end, and please don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it in any way, and please share it, comment, and please subscribe, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.